On air.
On air.
This is the first
And that's
episode
lit up. That's very cool.
of the Isle of Roux. Welcome, everybody.
I love her too.
I love Roux. So, I'm going to start with the land acknowledgement, and then we're going to acknowledge a lot of things that are happening currently, right now. With gratitude, mutual respect, and reciprocity, we acknowledge the ancestral home, culture, and oral teachings of the Treaty 7 signatories, which include the Siksika Nation, Piikani Nation, Kainai Nation, the Ithka, Stoney Nakoda Nation, consisting of the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney bands, and the people of the Tsuut'ina Nation. The city of Calgary is also home to the historic Northwest Métis and the Métis government, Métis Nation Battle River Territory, Nose Hill Métis District 5, and Elbow Métis District 6. We are also online now, living in an online space. So we acknowledge all of the spaces that we're coming from and all of the spaces that we're watching from, and we're so grateful to be here with you. This is the first episode of our Isle of Roux, the Isle of Roux. So the first time for 10 years that we're not at 1136 8th Avenue.
We have to take that off the website.
Yeah. So we're broadcasting live from our home, which is just down the street. And Felix, what does that feel like?
Yeah, we've been in the exact same spot for 604 Wednesdays in a row.
Yeah. And so this is the first one that we're online and ethereal. And we're really grateful to be able to be hanging out with you. And we have a great episode planned. And the nice part about this and what we're grateful for right now is the opportunity to learn each Wednesday what we want to do. Right?
Right.
We have the room to grow and evolve, which is really lovely.
I keep putting my head on the felting bag and then realizing how bad of an idea it is.
With the
Then just doing it again because it's comfortable.
All right. So over the last week, including acknowledging the land that we're on, I wanted to acknowledge all of the people who helped us move last week. So we had dinner on the 25th. It was a beautiful dinner. And then we had a whole week.
I thought I would be doing all the moving.
We had a whole week.
And then I broke my wing. Can you put this?
Oh, yeah.
Over?
So
We are on air.
because of Rich's injury, especially, we wanted to thank everyone
Which one am
who
I drinking out
came up
This is very...
Is
and came out.
this camera looks like it's really low res. And then hold on. That should be better. And is it glitching at all or are we good? Still looks low res.
That's the down picture. So the one looking at us is on
Oh
this
yeah.
camera.
Okay. Can you
I'll
check
look
that
at
one
that
and
one,
check the resolution? You say you want a resolution. So
It's high def.
what's it on?
High def.
700?
Yeah, 720.
This one.
It looks really clear on the screen, but it doesn't look.
Okay, that might be just.
Oh,
Is there anybody with us in the comments as of yet?
You can. Oh yeah, but you're open to the right thing. Hello.
If you want to join us, there's a link you can click on. Oh, which one am I drinking out of this one? Could anybody that's at home, I see 5 people, which is nice, 6 people, tell us if the resolution looks really chunky or if there's any like freezing, because I'm looking at it and the screen's freezing. You might need to reconfigure a bit. Or
So there's a few. Well, we'll figure.
can we do this? Can you go in the other room and just sort of check this out, bud? Take this in there and tell me. It's super not funny. Take this in the other room and then don't trip on the wires. And then just tell me like how the screen is not freezing from Aaron. Oh, hi, Aaron.
Oh, thanks, Aaron. And Aaron, it's so nice to see you.
So I had this like funny panic attack exactly half an hour ago. and I was sitting on the couch, and I was thinking, oh, so we're not broadcasting to Instagram. I don't know who. I heard myself in my brain. Do you, Neri, in your brain?
All the time.
In my brain, I thought, oh, I don't know who's
Dad-
watching.
It's a bit late, but
No, is it freezing? And also, does it look chunky like the resolution, or does it look smooth? Like a clear picture, or like kind of a chunky picture? I mean, I'm chunky, but like, does
The resolution.
the resolution look pixelated?
a little. It kind of like
Can you just go?
goes chunky and then smooth again, and then kind of glitches again.
Okay. Just go tell me how the resolution is on the phone.
Sure.
I don't know how to say it, but it doesn't.
That's why I'm sending Jesse. It might be that we need to move the. There's a lot of learning today because we're broadcasting from a new space. It might just mean we need to move the Wi-Fi cable to this computer. Clear picture. 340 resolution. Oh my goodness. Pretty
Not
cool.
freezing. Okay, I think it's fine. Jesse,
I,
I think we just have bad Wi-Fi here.
No, okay, listen,
Mhm.
there's a cable plugged into that computer right there. Okay, so I might have to pull that out and put it in here, just depending on how it looks for people who are watching. Neil says 340. Ooh, that's low. Okay, middle cup for drinking. I thought Jess would go for like 10 seconds.
I was trying to see if I could see it on YouTube, but I don't know. Did you want your phone?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Did you send the thing to Mom?
No, well,
So it looks pretty good. So we wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who helped move us last week, and we are here
Glitching.
in our house, and we are starting our first episode looking at the idea of how music saves lives.
I'm gonna do this for a minute. You gotta take the wheel.
Oh, I will
take the
take
wheel, Jesse.
Take the wheel. Okay. So we had a few ideas. Our first idea was to kind of
Can you just text
take-
your mom and tell her to look it up on
take
YouTube? Rumble House Live Art on YouTube.
inspiration
Rumble
from
House or Isle of Roux?
Currently, it's on Rumble House, unless she uses Facebook. I'm sorry. Okay.
Could you just give her the link? That'll be easier.
everything's fine.
Okay, so we have a new system. We're going to spin. Can you grab that wheel?
Do you need help?
We have a new system. Jessie took her book apart, and we're making a big banner out of her alphabet book, and then let's switch this over. Top can. So this is our new wheel,
I like that you make a new wheel with every iteration.
and so this particular funky
Mom,
chaos.
Rumble House.
Do that in the bedroom, bud. Go do that in the bedroom, please. For the sound. And this will point to a letter. And the letter, on the spot, we're going to have to pick somebody who's amazing. Let's say it lands on the letter W, well, then we would probably choose Wakefield. And then if it landed on like H, R, or G, or K, we'd probably pick Jerry from Heritage Records. So there's a lot of room for us to sort of wiggle with that. But we did want to keep the sort of narrative of we don't know what's coming as of yet. And
But we did start today with an idea.
Neil, did I break my arm? It's not broken. It's dislocated. And what happened was, okay, as soon as I say motorcycle, everyone's going to
It's a
judge
little
me.
broken.
Oh, it's a little broken. Yeah. I did take a motorcycle ride last Monday, and the roads were great. And I felt like Bob Dylan. Had a really nice time riding. I took Jesse down to see my mom at the care home. And when I got to the south side of the city, there was ice on the side of the road. So I didn't want to park the motorcycle on the ice because when the weight of the bike melts the ice, you end up with like, you can't predict how that's going to sort of sink down to the ground. So I rode the motorcycle up onto the sidewalk, knowing that that would probably bother people. What is there? Oh, Neil, yeah. Okay, let me finish the motorcycle story. So I put the motorcycle on the side of the sidewalk as close to the ice as I could. And then I got off and I was just putting it up on the double stand and I was totally fine. And all of a sudden I slipped traction when I lifted the motorcycle. So I dropped the motorcycle and I did like a daffy, like legs splitting around. And then I regained my feet and then I caught the motorcycle, but dislocated my shoulder. And then while I caught the motorcycle, my feet started doing Donald Duck again. And then I regained I pulled a muscle in my leg, a hamstring. I thought I might have tore it, and regained my composure a second time. And then with a dislocated shoulder, I lifted the motorcycle up onto the double kickstand. We went inside, and Jess is like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm not okay." And I could feel my arm was kind of sticking out to the side, and then we had to take an ambulance to the hospital, and they took forever. And actually, at first I felt fine, but I guess the longer you wait with your arm out of the socket, it starts to tense up. And so it started like raising up, and then it was like this, and then it was like this, and then I thought if it goes any farther, it's going to come off. So I finally said, and he kept asking me, "Do I want medication?" I thought, well, if it's optional, like if I don't need it, why would I take it? So I assumed that you needed medication. They just give it to you. And if they're asking if you wanted medication, it was like bonus. Like, hey, you don't want medication to go with that dislocation? So I kept saying no. And then suddenly, like as the arm started to seize up and sort of twist backwards, I realized, oh, I'm going to lose this arm if I don't get it fixed soon. And then they kind of tag team. Did you get through to her? Oops.
Yeah, she's just trying to find her phone.
Okay. And then, yeah. Anyways,
Using her watch at the moment.
arm's dislocated, not supposed to use it, but tonight, baby, I'm using it. Slowly. Neil, when we pick the letter, what'll happen is then we would pick a person, place, or thing that we think is deserving of attention and make kind of
And
a
by
special
deserving, you mean that are doing good work, they're like upping the awesomeness of
Ooh,
humanity.
what if we did like evil deserving people?
Well, that's what I mean. Like I was trying to clarify.
Super villains. Okay.
But I don't think they'll be very good.
Ambassador to peace. Okay, so what we did this week was Neil says all I hear is motorcycle in December. Let me tell you something, Neil. Turns out when you show up at the hospital with a motorcycle helmet, nobody wants to help you with nothing. And I swear there was a bit of a tone like, hey, motorcycle guy with the helmet's got a dislocated shoulder. Let's let him suffer. But they were generally pretty decent. And at one point I got put in a room and the doctor came in, he's like, not that guy. And we're like, the nurse is like, we already put him in this room. He's like, not this room. And I was like, wow, that was really intense. And I wondered if it was like I of course would think the same thing about some idiot on a motorcycle in December. Even if the idiot is me. Okay. So we're not doing, okay, do not bump into this arm, please. We're not doing the wheel this week for a couple reasons. Everything's a little bit slower. Terrible. Yeah. Everything's a little bit slower this week because I'm one-armed. Now, coincidentally,
yeah,
I ripped this arm off about 20 years ago. I tore the bicep. And then I was in a similar arm strap. So I'm actually pretty good at not using my arm. They're like, you need this to make sure you don't use your arm. But when I did, I was super low. And I got on a Greyhound. And I stunk because I was like rotting, rotting. And I went to Vancouver and to meet some friends. And I stayed in Vancouver on Commercial Drive for like a month with one arm. And what I remember was it was kind of at a point where I'd been moving around. And it was the first move where I hadn't plugged my record player in because I was starting to get super anxious about my needle wearing out.
Yeah.
And then I went into this just fantastic record store on Commercial Drive and with only one arm, and I must have had like a shoulder bag because I couldn't put a backpack on. I ended up buying an LP. And I don't remember who it was. It could have been, maybe it might have been Long John Baldry, or it could have been, it was somebody like Richie Havens or Long John Baldry or somebody that not a lot of people would have known about. Right. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, I might never see this record again.
Right.
And so I was feeling super like desperate to have this record, so I bought this record, and with my one working arm, I carried my record around for like 3 weeks. And then when I got back to Calgary, I think I had to plug my record player in, and I listened to this record, and I had this sense of gratitude. Well, strangely enough, just after I tore my arm off again, it was just, when you get like updates and like, oh, so and so's calling in. Randomly, a record store started following us, and I don't know what that connection was. Maybe one of those record paintings I did, somebody bought and sent it to their friend at a store.
Maybe that'd be really cool.
But I looked, and I was like, oh, that reminds me of that store that was in Vancouver that really like touched my soul. And then I looked it up. It was on Commercial Drive. So strangely enough, like 20 years later, after I tore this arm, I ended up, I wouldn't say connecting, but sort of connecting with this store.
Yeah.
And then I really felt curious, so I started looking up what they do, and they do all this amazing stuff. Jess is going to tell you some of the amazing stuff they do.
So they've been around since 1982, and it was
around 2000. It was 2002 when I ripped my arm off.
Okay, cool.
So that was their.
Like around there. 20.
You can walk. You not to be quiet. I'm giving you mixed messages, aren't I? Don't worry about being quiet. Like I say, you tiptoeing. You can.
No, that's just how I walk.
Oh, ninja.
So High Life Records on Commercial Drive has been around since 82. So we were looking them up. They do in-store performances and events. The idea of having like gatherings and bringing artists and audiences together. They support local artists, which is really something we highly believe in, and providing a platform for emerging talent. And then like they kind of exist as a community hub. They're kind of amongst a bunch of diverse spaces, and they have just been a mainstay for a long time. So I thought that was a really cool coincidence.
Quite a bit like Jerry and.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to do a episode on heritage posters and music, and we have lots of different things to talk about. But this one was really interesting because of the Broken Wing connection.
Right.
Your connection.
Okay, speaking of Broken Wing, let's do this. I'm going to end up with way more paintings. Oh, yeah, so we're going to make a painting for them. We don't know them, so we don't know what they're like, but I think if I paint something with records, they'd be happy. This is a Muppets painting. I'm just trying to get it in the screen because I can't remember which way is up and down. And I painted that right before I hurt my arm. Actually, the last two characters I painted with my wounded arm. This is a wave of mutilation. And I think you need to see it in person. There's all kinds of little bodies that make that wave. And this is my first Broken Wing painting. Painted that with my left hand. So far. And this is about a week late, but you could have it for next year. Is Krampus and a little boy. So here's how I see this sort of unfolding. I've got 4 paintings. And if I could convince anybody, to click this link right here. It's in the comments code if you're on Facebook. And then if you want to get that code, text me at 403-629-7424, and I'll text it to you exactly personally. And then if that's the case, if you come online right now with us and tell us a story about how records touched your life, you can have your pick of my one of those paintings.
I like that a lot.
The left wing. Okay, now let's go back to. I'm going to paint on the back side of this gessoed canvas. Or do I want to go on the front side of the gessoed canvas? I want the back side. Or should I go on the front side? The possibilities are endless. I'm going to go on the gessoed side because there is a product. And then in honor of my broken wing and the scratches on records, I'm going to work with this ballpoint space pen and watercolors. So we wanted to make a connection, a loose connection between scratching, cross-hatching,
needles,
records.
Actually, Felix is using needles too. What material are you using, Felix? You're felting? That's so nice.
Yeah. So
My
did I put the
magic
link up?
never-ending bag of needles and felt, but mostly needles. Can you go there?
That's the link for StreamYard if you want to try and
Cool.
join us. I don't know if you click that, if it'll go. You can probably copy and paste that, or you might have to type it out, or I can copy and paste it to you, or if you're using Facebook, you can use the comments. But I'm going to start drawing, and you need to ask interesting questions.
Wonderful.
Because
What's your favorite color?
my favorite color is indigo.
That's really nice.
I hadn't
So,
anticipated the sound of
when-
drawing.
Oh, it's okay, because I think it won't be, like we have the Yeti over there. I think
So if you click on that link, https streamyard.com at 3TWRS678, and I didn't read that properly. So,
How many people do we got?
well, there's 12 that are showing right now, but we're actually broadcasting to different places.
Oh yeah, so we have a Twitch account now. I was learning things. So we're broadcasting to YouTube,
Or do
Facebook,
we?
and Twitch.
What's Twitch?
It's kind of more like a gaming platform, so people are able to game together and talk about stuff and like while playing. So it's a little bit like a lot of our friends that taught us about online streaming over COVID used Twitch. So
Can I tell you about something about there being 12 people on right now?
yeah.
So I was just sitting on the couch. Hey, this arm's dislocated. You got to give me like an inch, okay? I want to get pumped it twice. Make sure you're still on screen though. Just an inch, bud.
It's not easy to do that on a phone.
Not dislocate the arm.
Yeah.
What were we saying?
What were you thinking about on the couch?
Oh yeah, no, I was sitting on the couch thinking, oh, I don't know how many people will be watching on Instagram, because I didn't think anybody was watching on Instagram. And then so one time I said, I don't think we need to broadcast to Instagram. And then somebody who was in the room was like, I watch it on Instagram. I was like, oh, well, like I wasn't tracking that. Sorry. And so I do sort of feel like anxious about like, I was thinking like, I don't know, my thought was, and I turned it into words, I don't know who's listening or watching to us. And then I suddenly realized, why would anybody watch us? And I got this huge like sense of like, what the hell am I doing? Do you ever have those? Or do you just go, this is Rich's idea and I'm gonna do what he does?
Tonight when I was sitting down, kind of wrapping my head around what are we doing,
Yeah. Okay.
it was
Sweetheart,
I
if you
really-
feel your arm touch my arm, I love you. Just don't bang my arm.
I really want to make sure
How
this
can
is.
I help you remember that?
It's just
Oh, you could put the armband on. I'm super raw about it because we went to fireworks yesterday, and about 40 people bashed into my arm yesterday. And then we were talking about how like we're walking over to towards Princess Island, and then there's that helicopter pad, and near the helicopter pad there's
a hill.
there's a hill. And actually, I was thinking that'd be a great spot too, but I didn't want to say it in case it wasn't a great spot, because then I'd be responsible for it not being a good spot. And Felix goes, I think we should go up this hill. I was like, there, like 10,000 people went past this hill without stopping. And you just said, it's weird how like when one person turns, everybody follows them.
Yeah.
And
I bet nobody can guess what happened after we went up that hill.
we went up the hill, and the hill is about 30 feet long. You feel that arm? What if I put a tack through my sleeve? No, that won't help. It's cute because I know you're just being close to me. As soon as we went up the hill, like 1,000 people climbed up that hill, and then they got so like pushy and shovey, like I was here first, and I don't know how like everybody there decided they were there first,
Yeah.
and it was instantaneously like pushing and shoving, and strangely enough, like I guess like if I saw somebody with a sling, I would give them a little extra space.
Maybe they didn't see your sling.
It's like they were attracted to the sling. It's like, will it be 7 till 9? We're just headed home for the airport. Well, tell you what, we might stay on a little late tonight because we're trying to figure out who's coming in where. So we could go later than 9.
We're just, this is like this is new and we're happy.
And,
What
and
time are we gonna be going to?
We're
well, we used to go till 9 and then switch the feed over, but now I think we'll try to go until I don't know, after it's been 0 viewers for half an hour, maybe tonight we'll shut off. Because tonight is kind of a practice run, and also it might take me longer to draw this with one arm.
Mm-hmm. And I want to get in 2 of these guys, so.
And I have a ton of content that we can share as well. So we'll tell you what we have in mind.
Does he?
Ooh,
Ooh, it's cute. It's already cute.
this was me working on the.
When I was a lad, I didn't sit still, and so they called me bad. I bound and I danced in my seat all day. They took me to the room for the kids who were strange. I got so angry at my whole school. You wanted a leaf, but you found a toadstool. I couldn't sing and my words wouldn't rhyme, but I could draw and all my scratches were mine. You wanted to stop me, but you'll have to kill me. No matter what, I'm going to play, play, play. You wanted to silence me, you'll never out-violence me. No matter what, I'm going to play, play, play. All fucking day.
The first question might be why? Why would you do that? And the answer would be I don't know. We're going to show you. I meant to play the space show. Maybe you could talk to the people a little bit about the late space show.
So
We are playing the space show?
No, I was going to play that space show, and instead I have me singing and working on letters.
Can't you add that?
I will put the space. No, it's in there.
Okay. Do that.
I just don't want to lose viewers with my weirdness.
no, it was good. That was the sign that we saw at the very beginning, and I really like that you are so creative all the time. That you could just think of these really sweet songs, and they actually stick in my head quite frequently. So you'll kind of be able to.
Don't encourage me.
I love
Do
hearing you
not
sing.
encourage me.
There is this. I like your motorcycle song. There's lots of songs.
Okay, so this is they're all motorcycle songs. And this is what happens: is inside my motorcycle helmet and as a puppet, I am pretty fearless about singing. So
that's what this is all about. Is about fearlessness.
yeah.
Because, you're fearless to start Grill House, and you're fearless to keep it going with Rumble House. And
Okay, there's another layer to that. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, yeah, there's so many ideas happening right now.
kind of in a desperate low place to open Grill House, and we've always kind of worked around managing that desperate low place. And I was in a desperate low place when I found that record store.
Mhm.
Sweetheart, please.
You need to.
I'm not mad at you. It's like you have to remember normally I don't complain, right? Or do I? Pretty tough. But like I'm only worried about
I can move this way more.
that's okay.
There, and then you can move over a bit too. I'm still on the screen. Is that good?
Yeah, don't want you to be afraid of me. I know it's your way of showing affection too, right? Like I don't really get hugs. Every now and then you just gotta crash into my dislocated shoulder. Oh man. And then you decided to roll down the hill and sweep my feet under me while I was going crazy. Crazy man. I have done this once in my life, and it is kind of a weird thing that I don't know why I haven't tried it more, but not long ago, I was playing with the backside of a canvas, and I dropped some watercolor on ink that I did, and I really loved how the ink and the watercolor blended together. So I have some pretty wild thoughts about how this is going to look, but it might not be that great.
It's gonna be great.
No, but I have this image in my head of like kind of like what we talk about why we still teach too, because sometimes people are like, what keeps you in teaching? And it's like, well, I actually still make a lot of interesting discoveries while I'm teaching, because those kids will do stuff that people that went to art school won't do.
But and also you always have to think of a different way to explain things and talk about things. You're
Right.
always
Yeah,
discovering.
but I
new
was
things.
I love it when you get a new needle because your old one was getting dull or something.
for me, that's sandpaper.
Mm. That's awesome.
Sandpaper doesn't last very long.
Mm.
Let's try this.
Yeah, good idea.
Sandpaper doesn't last very long. And okay, here's an idea. If you want to peel around the corner here and reach in a bit and make sure you can see your hands, squeeze your hands into this area here. Does that work?
So like, sneaky.
Yeah.
Over to here.
Oh, yeah. So just saying? Oh, yeah. Anyways, I completely accidentally was working on the canvas with the ballpoint because I was sitting at the table and there wasn't any paper handy.
Mhm.
And all I had was this ballpoint. And I really liked the way the ballpoint settled into the canvas. Where's your stuff, Jesse?
I'm doing a record embroidery for High Life to send in the package.
I'm doing this.
There is a small chance that somebody somewhere will be like offended that we did this without consulting them. You know, like there'll be a lawsuit because we said how wonderful they were.
Here.
That's what we were talking about yesterday on the walk too, when we were walking to the fireworks. It's like, could someone get upset? And I feel like everything we've done is kind of like, we're thinking about being a little bit uncomfortable when we do stuff and putting ourselves out there and being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I think when we are mentioning like brands or people or groups, I think the fear is always there that people could misinterpret it. But our main goal with the Isle of Roux is gratitude and creativity and being grateful for the people who are creative in this world and seeing different ways that people are creative in this world.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just like when you're saying how teaching is always teaching you different things because the kids and how to explain different things. I feel like being vulnerable and always practicing being clear with our mission is a very good thing to practice.
Right.
So in short, please don't sue us.
No, it's not about suing
That
even.
would
It's
be
about
devastating.
so we've been 12 years. We have always we're trying to make everyone happy all the time.
Yeah.
And so when
I guess at the point where somewhere along the line somebody goes, actually, we didn't want you to feature us, then maybe we'll have learned our lesson and then try contact. But that'll take the fun out of the surprise because one of the reasons this started was I was really moved to open Gorilla House because of scraper bikes. Oh, we should do an episode on scraper bikes.
Totally.
That'll be a surprise for later. But I sent a painting to scraper bikes, and that was kind of maybe part of the genesis about how we decided to do this as well, right? Like,
yeah, I think that's the thing is there's always
Well, like
Many-
it's free advertising. Why wouldn't you want to be
well, no, like you're totally right that it shouldn't be a problem.
but you're always thinking about just
But like, what if 20 years ago, I walked out of that record store and I forgot to pay for my record or something. I didn't realize it. And so for 20 years, they're like, that's that guy that stole the Richie Haven album. How dare he? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many, like, we've learned this through like Rumble. There's so many times that you can't anticipate why somebody would be like,
feels hurt or
harboring like their
okay?
stresses over you.
So I got this thingy. Now what should I make?
think about the music. So
Headphones would be cool.
Put headphones on the guy. And that would kind of be like your DJs that you painted, hey? All of the headphones on those guys.
All the DJ headphones, where do they all belong? So we shot over the summer episodes of Space Hero X,
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about that.
and we have one ready to queue up tonight. I think, how's our battery doing?
First episode.
The
We're
battery dropped down a bit.
we're at 7:30 or 7:40?
Hello, Rose.
Currently 7:35.
What would Wednesday be? Okay, what about
I'm
this
gonna
though?
check it.
Does anybody want to join us on the feed? I'm gonna put that link in again.
So yeah, the Lost Hero X or Lost Hero 10 space episodes are
Oh,
a
yeah.
way for us to discuss the political climate and different ideas in
We can talk about politics without.
but you've always talked about sci-fi and sci-fi's way to discuss difficult topics
Topics that were
through fiction.
Well, it's like when in North America, when America wasn't ready to talk about some of their
Challenges?
yeah civil rights issues. People like Gene Roddenberry and Rod Serling had the presence of mind to write science fiction about robots, maybe a blue robot killing a red robot, and then it just seems so stupid, like why would these people even be fighting? Why can't they just get along? And so I think there's always been a long history of like science fiction being a way to
Right.
it's funny, like when you're inventing anatomy, and like for instance, I'm doing this cute girl who's like just really engrossed in her record,
Mm-hmm.
and you really have to concentrate on getting the toes on the right foot when you're,
I love watching you draw toes. I love watching you draw,
Toes.
but I love watching you draw toes.
well, like, and now, like, you really got to make sure you count the toes so that they don't think it's AI.
Or
Or
do we make sure, because this kind of goes with this topic today, is like the imperfections. We always refer to the Persian rugs, and they would always make
yeah, yes and no, because like I think imperfections are great, but the imperfection of
specifically digits.
digits is like it's a clear tell for the.
Is it still a clear tell, or have they gone past that now?
No, it is. They also make two tails and stuff like that.
On people? I only have one
No,
tail.
like-
That's a secret, Jesse.
How dare you, Jesse? I have 9.
My arm feels pretty good. They told me to keep it in the sling, but I'm feeling pretty free right now.
Just take it easy. Let me show you something.
Maybe you should not be.
In short bouts.
Moving.
We'll do short bouts.
No, really quickly doing stuff.
I don't think quickly is a thing. It's like a certain like he goes,
Angle.
this is okay. This is comes out. So don't go past that. And I was like, So the big thing is like if I'm using the arm and then I forget, and then like if I drop something and I go to catch it, that's where it's a problem. We usually have people online joining us. And
I think Mom's here.
she's watching us. Oh no, I know that.
Mhm.
But what I mean is like if they click this link, the StreamYard link, they could come and talk to us.
Please talk to us.
Well, there's lots of people talking on the chat, but yeah, if they want to come in. So that's the next level of engagement that we're going to be working on is people making work from their own studios are still very much allowed to take part in the Isle of Roux.
It's really fun when you talk to us.
It's funny because also I was going to keep it a total surprise that that we're doing this, and I just assumed that people that were watching before would find us on their feed. But then I talked about it for like a year, and still people were like, "Oh, it's so sad we'll never see you again." I'm like, "Dude, like I've been telling you for months, like we're going to do a different broadcast."
Yeah.
Maybe they just meant like
What's the secret?
a free pizza. Okay.
Oh yeah, actually on the topic of food, we wanted to thank everyone who helped with the dinner as well. That is such a beautiful like semicircle.
Yeah.
Look at that Olympus. It's a beautiful Olympus.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you have that as on. Yes.
See? Yeah, so for the we have different episodes. We're going to be showing the first episode of Lost Hero X.
Lost Hero X. What time is it?
We're going to be showing
Okay, at 7:45 we'll show the Lost Hero X, okay? Can I also say that, like, in context, like, our, like, special effects have gotten so much better that watching the first Lost Hero X was
Are
pretty
there any
painful.
more pizzas left?
yeah, in the fridge. It's the tin foil.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's all yours.
You know what's super nice about Canvas? It's just like built-in ruler system. You know, like you
Oh,
just find
yeah.
the brain. Get these nice straight lines.
So can I show this up close a little bit?
Oh no, can you?
So I'm doing a record, and I'm actually going to be going in and in like a
Can I just have
circle,
one little break me off a piece here?
like a spiral. I mean, to kind of mimic the grooves in the record.
She went on the TV. She went on the TV.
So, discuss the value of imperfections in art and life. That made me think about AI. Made me think about the imperfections, and then we talked about the rugs. We talked about, but the idea of imperfections. I always tell the kids, because you said it's like you're perfect. Like I always tell the kids when I'm teaching, you're perfect. They're like, no, nobody's perfect. I'm like, no, you're perfect. You're just the way you're supposed to be. Like you're.
But it's
just
funny
the
too
way.
because like it's funny how we like get sucked into different kind of dogmas. Where like
Mhm.
We're perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
Well, I remember like Aaron Lee. Can you stand up for a second? Aaron Lee had told that like life-changing story about the moment before you're born, and you pick all the pieces that you're going to go through in life.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was so magic, and that comes down to like when Felix broke his arm,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, well, you know, in another universe, maybe you fell into that fire pit when we were camping.
Yeah.
And
But then maybe in another universe, I somehow fell over, landed on my hands, and then did a backflip.
sure. But you always got to pay the piper somewhere, right? And the way Aaron described it was, well, right that moment right before you're born, you get to choose what kind of life you're going to have. And, you know, you're going to sign up for no troubles or a few troubles. You're going to go through life never breaking an arm. All right. I'm going to go into painting this now because I don't really have time, I think, this night to do all the stuff I was going to do with the ink. But like the Florentine paintings, they'll paint a black and white version of the painting as a base. And then when that dries, they go in and they put the colors in. And I think that was kind of the effect I was getting, strangely enough, with the canvas and the ink and the watercolors.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like the ballpoint ink was staining the watercolors I was using.
As your monochrome base.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I am not going to do that tonight because it looks like I'm going to run out of time. Though Leanne did put in a request to stay on later tonight. And it's interesting because I wonder when we told people we're going to do this on Wednesdays, if like the crowd that goes to the auction would expect us to have started at 9, and the crowd that goes to the Rumble would expect us to start at like 7. So yeah, and there's some room here, wiggle room here, that we could even do like a different night than Wednesdays, or there's lots of learning right now. So the two extremes are, on the one hand, I was sitting on the couch going, what if nobody comes? And on the other hand, I would keep reminding myself that if nobody comes, that was kind of the plan. Right? It's just a great way to spend Wednesday nights with your family, Rich.
Yeah,
So is nobody really just gonna talk to us?
there's lots of people
Oh.
talking to us, but they're
Yeah. That's super cute, Felix. But you know what else? We used to really push pressure on people to like share the link, and it was ugly. It was like, oh, we need you to share the link, or we're probably going to close down. And we don't really need anybody to share the link anymore. And whereas I don't have to sell paintings anymore, I don't ever have to ask people to share the link again. And I see people that do YouTube contents, and they're always struggling to get people to share the link. And I guess if you need people to watch, that's why they're always saying that. I find it super distracting, but I want to learn about like a camera. The guy's like, yeah, just click here on the link. And so I was kind of excited to never have to do that again. So you're right, you're super cute. And if you go, please, they might be manipulated into joining us. Well, Steve Douglas.
I think that's the thing that people get used to. Like, this is a new platform, and then you don't have to be making art at home. Maybe you want to join us, like you said, Felix, and just chat, right? Like, what if we have people on their couches at home, and they join in on their webcam, and they're like, hey, we're just having a conversation? Because I think this platform is going to be a little bit more philosophy and talking, and the storytelling, I think, is going to be very huge in this. So that we have different interludes with different stories.
That was something I was hoping. I hoping people would call in and share their own stories about
their connection to records. So yeah, like some of the questions.
Wait, before we do that, because there are questions, can we tell us? There's a number of like record stories, and I think I've told most of them at the Rumble House, but let's just try a few right now. One was I stole my record player from my family when I was 12 because it was in the basement and it wasn't being used. It might have been like stacked away in the basement because we got a plastic one from Canadian Tire. It was the Yorks brand and it had lots of lights on it. It was plastic and it looked like metal. And my family kind of just got this record player that ended up in the living room and everybody loved it. So I snuck the old wooden Panasonic into my bedroom. I also helped myself to all of my mom's old records, which were like probably where I would credit my musical taste and how I would even known of somebody like Richie Haven. And I had that record player for the longest time. And I remember when I was a teenager, I think probably every teenager was like this, but not every teenager was like this on a vintage wood panel Stack-O-Matic. When I was like at my lowest, I would just like sit in my room and crank records. And that's something I held on to my whole life. Like I vividly remember sitting in CyberSurf and Kelly Budd showed me an MP3 player for the first time. And I think that was like when my patience for CD players was starting to run thin. So that seemed like a really great opportunity to shift. And then everybody would always make that joke. I think it came from Men in Black. Oh, I'm going to have to buy the White Album again. And it's like, you know what? That's not a problem. Like, I don't mind investing in the music that I love, especially if it means I can get it on a platform that I can listen to more readily. And I definitely went through a phase where I was listening to a lot of records on my headphones. I think when I met you, you didn't really have headphones, and it kind of stressed me out because I moved my music listening to
all on headphones.
All on headphones.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really listen to music if you were talking to me. So I kept trying to buy
you. Oh, you are listening to your headphones?
Or also you had a Crosley record player, and I wanted to get you a better record player.
Yeah, and better.
Because it bothered me that you're listening on low quality record player.
Yeah. And
because that's me being a bit of a snob. Music is for a living for, but also you have to listen to it well.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, no, I like my record player. I was like, no, that's not acceptable. And now, because we were just talking about this, I have these anxiety moments about when I put something on my phone, am I going to ruin it? Because I really find when music's on my phone, I stop hearing it. It starts to become background music. When music's on my record player, I'm completely engaged. Or today, I was kind of thinking about something, and you put Bob Dylan on. I was like, you know what? I really want to be present when I'm listening to this. Can we put on Tony White? Yeah. What's his middle name?
Tony Joe White.
Joe. Yeah, I was thinking of Tony J. White.
J.
J for Joe. Okay, so I'm going to send a record player and a girl to High Life Records, and we'll send them a URL of this, and they are totally welcome to not watch it. You're welcome to watch it. And it's $7.50. Oh, I was going to put this.
Yeah, you can put the first Space Hero X.
Just a second.
Yay.
Hey, Kelly, you got your mic on?
Well,
Yes, I have it on.
yay.
Kelly, you cannot win all the prizes in the Isle of Roux. We have to put a limit on how many prizes you can win. But you know what? I really think today, if you have a interesting story about records, I got this Krampus painting that needs at home, and I can't think of anybody better than you to have this Krampus painting. Would you be interested in telling me a story for a painting?
Not at this moment in time. I'm
Can't see ya.
Yep.
Just kidding. Give it some thought.
Okay.
And then when you're ready, just signal us and we'll put your mic back on, okay?
okay.
There was a bit of feedback coming through. Am I being too pushy?
Did you want to put the
Put the,
Space Hero X on?
yeah, I will. Yeah, and then I'm going to change this battery. Okay, remember the sound should still be on. No farting on the space heroes. Okay, the original episodes, we've upgraded our spaceship since the beginning too.
I love that. I love
A
it.
lot.
Okay, why not?
Running low on fuel.
It's been worse.
Should I be looking for a place to go down?
Yeah.
Actually, there's something here. Mountains?
Yeah,
Water?
that looks promising. Looks familiar.
Yeah, it does, I guess. Yeah, lots of water. Wait. Does that look like...
How did we get back to Alberta?
Did we just circle around? So, can
That's a
we...
mistake. Don't worry about it. We'll find somewhere to go.
But we're so close, we could have just gotten
We
some
just
gas.
left Alberta. There's a reason we left Alberta, Jessica.
So you're just gonna find another place with gas?
That's why we left Alberta. And Art,
I hope you know what we're doing.
it's fine. I'm not going back there.
I'm with you.
Damn piece of crust. You can't eat that.
Ah.
That's it. Thank you.
I'm a magpie.
There's a cable in front of the
was not nice.
Did you see there's a last little piece of your cake in there too?
On.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know what I'm gonna make my guy. I don't really want to make him a DJ. So,
No, not a DJ, just a guy with headphones. But you don't have to do that either.
guy with headphones.
Why? What do you got against DJs?
Nothing.
Do you want to see where we live?
No, that's creepy.
Okay.
No, is that camera out there? That's a really cool shot.
What time is it?
8 o'clock.
Yeah. What color couch does this girl have?
Green.
Oh, isn't that nice?
So,
Oh, and the rain
if you had to recommend one record to someone having a tough day, what would it be and why?
one record, having a tough day. Well, I will tell you that I was having a very tough day. I'm going to list off the records that helped me out of tough days.
Okay.
One was Hot Rocks, and probably the one that starts off with the choir.
You can go.
Is the title of that song "You Can't Get What You Want"?
Yeah.
So that was on Hot Rocks 1971. That was the best of.
That cassette got stuck in my tape player.
Did you know that one Bob Dylan album?
Yep.
The
Library Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah, I don't believe you. Anything Bob Dylan. Pat Daddy and I were talking about that over COVID. That during COVID, I went through a weird depression where I couldn't listen to anything but Bob Dylan or Johnny Cash. And Jess would ask me if she wanted, like, can you pick a record? I'm like, sure. And it didn't matter what she put on. Within about 30 seconds, I was like, this is awful, but I can't listen to this right now. And so I kind of fell into this weird pattern where I could only listen to Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan. And then I reached out to Pat Duddy, completely unrelated, just to see how he's doing. He's like, oh man, I can't play music. I can't listen to music. And I go, that's funny. I was just noticing that I can't listen to music. All I can listen to is Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan. And he said that's funny because he just bought a Johnny Cash album. And he'd never really listened to Johnny Cash before. And the only thing he'd been listening to was Bob Dylan. And then I said, oh, this is what you should do. You should read Chronicles. And I sent him a picture of Chronicles. He immediately sent me back a picture of Chronicles because he was sitting on his bed, and next to his bed was a copy of Chronicles that he hadn't read yet. And I was like really, okay, so then later on, I slowly started to be able to listen to Daniel Johnston, which is, obviously Nina Simone was kind of in that round of really authentic people. But in that time, anything that it was even remotely placating to what people wanted to hear was unbearable to me. And that would be different than the records that kept me alive when I really was hitting low spots, because one of the records that kept me in out of a low spot was I was driving around and Good Vibrations came on the radio. And I was like, I think I'll give it one more day, and I drove home. And what was another album? Eagle Eye Cherry.
Save Tonight.
Yeah, Save Tonight. That really, like, I was in a really low spot, and that kept popping up on the radio.
Wait, what are some other things about the place? But like, what are things about it that I could?
The record place.
Yeah.
Jessie has a list of things about them, and she can also go to the website and see what it says. Also, like, we don't want to make it sound like it's the only record place in the world, because we actually have some really decent attachments to some record places here in Calgary. It's just, it was so fortuitous that while I was sitting there sulking about my arm, this place that had been my salvation the last time I wrecked my arm just happened to click. They started following us, and I was like, that's a weird follow.
So Kevin Finseth started it 40 plus years ago, so 1982.
So it sounds like this is a painting for Kevin,
Yes.
right? But do they have like an archaeologist that works there that like knows all the stuff, or is that him?
About Us.
A what?
High Life Records was founded in 82 and run by Kevin Finseth. Situated on Commercial Drive, amidst all these awesome places.
That's where I started eating ice cream.
At a glance, you'll find a wide range of artists, Tom Waits to Tinariwen, Curtis Mayfield to Manu Chao, Bon Iver to Bob Marley. Goal is to keep finding new jewels in the rough.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I went in there and I found like these jewels. And I was like, I can't buy this right now. Like I have one arm, but I can't live without it. And I was scared. Yeah. I was scared that if I didn't buy it, I'd never see it again. Like I had a fear of not seeing that record again. I had a very similar fear actually of my record needle breaking. So there's another gap there. Was like for a while I wasn't listening to my records, and that was really painful because I was afraid that I would lose them. I'd lose them out of my life.
Right.
And my other fear was like not seeing that record again. Which is interesting, like when we're collecting records, because there's a lot of records you see and you're like, wow, this is $100. This is a special find.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry's really bad for that, giving us the special finds, you know? And you do sort of feel like, you know what, like I'm going to buy this because I really might never see it again. But then the scary thing is you can often find that same record. Like, for instance, you can buy all of Art Blakey's records for $10. And there's 100 records on that. Because people sort of lost interest in listening to Art Blakey, you can get some pretty good deals on the iTunes. And so it's funny because you have to sort of make decisions like, am I going to spend $100 on this one vinyl? Or do I just turn that into my radio playlist in the car? Which is sad, but another kind of compromise, I guess.
Yeah, because you're also in the car for a lot of your life, so it's like.
Okay. Storms. Which do you want? Do you want a compass? Overreaching.
How can I? Yeah.
Take that. Would you like not my first left-hand drawing, because I actually have ruined my arm a few times, but this time around, my first left-hand drawing.
I love that street scene.
Yeah. A wave of mutilation. Does that count frozen? So you can't see up close, but those are all tiny little.
Are you using the product camera here? Let me
Check and see that the resolution is turned on.
It is. It's at 720.
Go, just take a peek around the corner.
I know.
Be awful if this or the Muppets.
No, it looks really good on the screen.
Okay. You win one of those for quoting Rich Taylor. Which one do you want? No one's taking my paintings. I can't even give them away.
That's not the thing. People get used to a different space and a different.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
You don't have to come online. You can let me know you heard me.
No.
Or maybe they just came and left.
Drop some knowledge and then run away.
Okay, bye.
So I liked this question. The idea of
Wait,
memories.
did you tell your story?
Oh, my favorite album?
No, the albums you recommend to somebody who's struggling.
So I was thinking definitely Blue by Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
Because there's some really mournful, like heavy feeling songs, but then also some joyful, blissful songs on that album.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Can I interlude?
of course,
I also forgot, and this is kind of corny, but whenever anybody like would text me with like, or really like, oh man, I just lost a foot or something,
oh yeah,
I would always text back this one Eels song. Now You're Really Living. And it's such a great song. And, you know, it might be the only Eels song I like. Because the Eels really got overplayed in the 90s. But that song really, like, straight. And then, is it appropriate anymore? Kind of misogynistic. But, yeah, I really love that Eels song because it really sort of got to that sense of, like,
Kind of what?
like, I think he talks about making love to a beautiful girl. So, like, maybe we don't speak that way anymore. Like, maybe it'd be a better song like, "Have you ever made love to a really smart girl?" That might have been good. Or maybe just not talking about that. Either way, you asked and now you suffer. But yeah, like that idea of like really like dropping low into the bowl and like crashing hard is what I like about the Eels song. It's like it doesn't give you any sympathy. It's like, no, like this is life. You're alive. This is the full deal. Like, did you want to go through life without any trauma? And of course, when you say that to somebody who's having trauma, they're like, "No, I actually don't need to."
I would like to not do this anymore.
In fact, the next person that tells me this is good for me is going to get a punch in the eye. Like, oh, I know that.
I was going to talk.
Now's not the time.
We were going to talk about resilience too, and that idea of like maybe to not have to be resilient anymore would be nice too. But
yeah.
But the idea of music.
I disagree with that 100%. By the way.
No, I know, but you know the sentiment behind it is like what you were just saying.
I still disagree with that. Yeah. I'm hearing it and I try and be respectful to it, but I 100% disagree with. I don't want to have to be resilient anymore because,
yeah.
Like and like when they study like old people that are on their deathbed, all of the time, not most of the time, all of the time. The parts people miss the most out of their lives were those moments where they were being the most resilient, right? So you'll spend the rest of your life missing those stressful encounters, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, in our life, we keep reinventing new stressful encounters.
What just stressed me to me? Well,
is anybody going to watch this Isle of Roux thing? Will I look like a fool?
The left-hander.
Oh, nice. It's yours. Okay, are you picking it up or are we mailing it to you? Maybe message me your address and we will throw this baby in the mail to you. See, that's the other thing about the Isle of Roux is I will stack up paintings if I don't have a place to put them. Yeah, can you privately message me an address I can mail that to? We still have a business. Oh,
or a plan. We'll figure it out.
Will we still have a business account with I guess only if we cancel it? How does that work?
We'll figure that part out.
Right.
Because we are still.
Did we ever have to show that we were a business to have a business account with Canada Post?
I said we'll figure it out.
Maybe.
Everything will be fine when you mail everything.
What?
Everything will be fine.
It'll be fine.
I've
had my account for 15 years and it's still going.
You have a business account?
Yep.
What's your business?
Canada
Solutions. It's an old name.
Now
it's something else.
Oh, I see. You're using an old business account.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You still have a business account.
Gotcha.
So if you have it and you.
What I was really wondering was, did we have to prove we had a business to have a business account, or was it just on an honor system?
You just show the card and they go, okay, you get discounts. That's it. They don't ask for.
They're pretty low key, yeah.
Yeah.
My whole thing when I was a young man, and this was just because I was a brat, it occurred to me every single time I put like a 5-cent stamp on an envelope, that if I didn't put the stamp on the envelope, and instead I wrote the address I wanted it to go to in my return address and used my own address as the mailing address, if I didn't put a stamp on it, it would get returned to the return address for unpaid postage, and then it would land where I wanted it to go. But also, really, I've always had a deep passion for the idea of mail, and that came from the Pony Express. I just thought those guys ride on horses, risking their lives to try and delivers people's mail was like noble like knighthood.
Oh, so they'll message us. Perfect.
Okay, yeah, if you want to pick it up this week, because I didn't say the last 3 times you bumped into my elbow, because I didn't want to keep yarn on it. But can you be careful on that elbow?
I need scissors. Can I have those?
Little or bigger?
Are they for
Oh,
fabric?
Little would be better.
That was weird. That was like when I got stung by that bee when I was picking up the drug needles. Is you were passing the scissors over, and he wiggled his arm, like shook his arm, kind of in my area, and I felt like I was going to lose an eye because of the combination of the
Shaking of the hand and the...
totally deadly. How much time we got? Okay, it's lucky we're going late tonight because I'm going slower with this arm than I thought I would.
Hey, Rich, how's your arm?
How is it?
Yeah, are you still using your sling?
Yeah. Except for right now.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't really hurt that much. And so I think I've heard it before. And normally what I would do is in days I would sort of like force it back up. Like, let's say this is my bad arm, dislocate it and like kind of go this high on Monday, and then this high on Tuesday, and then this high on Wednesday, and then sort of just force it back to work. But like the doctor was very specific. I'm allowed to do this, but I'm not allowed to do this. I'm definitely not allowed to do this.
Yay.
Dad, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, you'll make it worse, right?
I'm a bad boy. Well, no.
I'm trying to think of other albums. So I was thinking of Joni Mitchell, but then I was thinking of
Like
definitely Bob Dylan.
Pick you up albums?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I'm low, sometimes I really like feeling low. So then I'll listen to
Swim in it?
August and Everything After by Counting Crows and
Yeah.
swim in it for sure.
I do that too. I'm like, I try and memorize those stinks.
Yeah.
And I do find like you make me so happy. But sometimes I feel like overwhelmed by the happiness. It's like when you've been in the sunshine so long and you're waiting for drizzling rain.
Yeah.
Like you can be so happy for so long and then you're dying to have your heart broken. And then you say that to somebody that just had their heart broken and like, I'll stab you if you say that again. It's like, okay, then I'm not dying to have my heart broken, but dying, not dying.
Dying to not die.
Right.
Or are you dying to...
Let's not talk about death today.
I was just thinking.
Oh, other questions?
Yeah, I like this. Can you recall a vivid memory tied to a particular song or album, and how does it make you feel now?
That is such a weird question because every song I listen to has several memories attached.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the same way?
Yes.
Like,
And some streets have specific songs and
Right.
parts of songs attached.
Right. the one that really sticks in my head was Big Wreck, and the song's called That Song. And I was in a car thinking, one day I'll be listening to this song, thinking about this song in this moment. And then I do think of that moment, the moment where I noticed
That song.
that song was going to be that song soon, but I was still living in the moment. And I remember like, this is totally going to be that song. That is funny.
I remember listening to a Laura Marling album, and I was like really shook that it really reminded me of Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
And the thought of her being so dynamic as a contemporary artist was very like dynamic and poetic, and
Who? Which one?
Laura Marling,
Right.
as a contemporary artist was
Right.
really shocking
Is this
to
your
me.
bag?
Yeah.
That's your muffin thing? Oh, that was way too much yellow. I'm going to deal with that. Well, I can use it. No, I don't need that much yellow. I'm going to deal with that. I'm in a loop. Do you have a scraper?
What do you want? What kind of scraper?
Any, just like a palette knife or a knife or a
Okay. Oh, I got you.
katana.
All right.
Please don't get me katana. First of all, social services doesn't want to know. Where did you move to? She's still with us. Okay, that's gonna be nice. I got this crazy paint set where I just keep evolving the palette into it, and it's cute because like they're really. No, you keep asking us. You said.
Oh.
This is my crazy palette that I'm telling you about. Unpinned down. Can you give me a else? Well, I can use my shirt. No, seriously.
I'll get
else.
Yeah. I'll still get you.
Kelly, you got your mic on?
I did.
Did you want to share something?
Oh no, I was just gonna show you my cat. I was gonna send a picture, but it's easier this way. She has the cone of shame.
I do too.
The watermelon cone of shame.
Why does she have that?
She has an infection in her foot.
Oh, from licking?
No, it's some sort of skin disease or something.
My dog, Skippy, had this pink lump sticking out of his eye. Kind of looked like a piece of bologna. And I remember 2 times, 2 different girls in my life showed up and like, dude, what's with his eyes? Like, it's over. We're over. Don't talk about my dog's pink lump sticking out of his eye. And everybody was grossed out by Skippy and his pink lump in his eye.
Skippy.
And it turned out Skippy's pink lump in his eye came from
Negativity.
Snoopy, that was my sister's dog,
Snoopy.
licking the salt out of his eye. You know, dogs would get like those, licking the salt out of his eye, and it got like the muscle that's normally under the eyelid became like liberated and onto his face.
Liberated. I'm free.
Anyways, I think they eventually operated on it, and it might have been cosmetic just because it was ugly. But then, like, the stress to try and keep Snoopy from re-licking his eye because she just liked the salt was like infinite. And I don't know why I'm telling this story because it doesn't have a proper.
My dog also has eye things.
Yeah.
They're like black eye lobes.
Yeah, like the eye hook is what Snoopy would lick off.
Mm.
So if you ever need some salt in your eye,
Okay, no.
just have that animal on its own.
I can't stop feeling my eye. Like I can just feel my.
It is salty.
What if my muscle liberated?
Please don't smash my broken ear. Please don't smash my broken ear. Is that like consent?
I don't think those are connected. I don't think.
You know what? I didn't have consent to lick your eye, and I apologize.
So I was gonna let you guys know that the main camera is a little bit blurry and it lags a bit. The other 2 cameras are fine.
How about this?
How about this?
How's it now?
That one, the main one is fine. The secondary still is kind of like a little on the blurry side. Like
We're gonna
it's a lagging camera, I think.
we're gonna shift things around next week. We
Okay.
didn't shift them this week because I had 1 arm.
You'll still have 1 arm next week.
No, I'm gonna have 2 arms next week.
No, I can have 2 arms.
I just want to-
Yeah, I've actually hurt my arm too. I have the bursa sac in my rotary cuff is inflamed. So, and I also have bad tennis elbow.
You play tennis?
No, it's called that. It's the muscle. The muscles actually have overstretched now for some reason. I went to a massage and they overstretched it.
You went for a massage and they wrecked your muscle.
Well, they were trying to fix it.
Sounds like a fight.
Good intentions.
So, and it's not as he's trying, right, to try to do something better, and it happens.
No, we're good.
Like when they said they were gonna paddle cam at the.
He also, when he does my back, he
I
also
would go back to the person if you go into your shoulder.
but it just happens sometimes. And so I'm going for ultrasound next week. So every time I do my wrist, if I move my wrist a certain way, it hurts.
Yeah.
But so you and my husband are
What?
both arms, same arm, injured.
Yeah.
His work, though, I think. Not injured at all.
Like a 45.
Really?
Oh, there was a sale at Kensington Art Supply. There's tons of gesso on sale there.
I don't need gesso anymore.
No?
Nope.
I got lots of it.
Does not me.
So you're just gonna you're only using oil or are you using watercolor?
Right now I'm using a weird mixture of watercolor and gouache.
Okay.
Gouache with color. Or water gouache.
I've just
I'm not sure I'm going to stick with this forever, but I have enough canvases right now that I prepared to get me to the end of Rumble House. That for every chance I get to paint big again, I probably won't need to prepare a canvas until next year. And I don't mean like probably next summer I'll be preparing canvases again. Because we kind of we could see the writing on the wall. I gave a year's notice. And then it became really necessary to make up what I would need to get this far.
I thought this was black, but it's brown again.
Don't have any black, I just have brown. We'll buy some maybe next week or when we.
I've been redoing the basement here. I have actually a lot of canvases I didn't realize, so they're all hidden all over the place.
No, right before we shut down, a couple things happened. People started donating their art collections back to the gallery, and that was really disheartening because they weren't giving up on art, but they were giving up on houses that were big enough to store their art. And so there's a number of people that were like, hey, I'm downsizing into a tiny home and there's no way I can keep all this art. We love what you do, so we want to be able to give you this art to resell for the gallery, which would have been great if that was our thing, But the idea that people were sort of moving out of their homes and into condos and didn't have enough space to keep the art that they had purchased was really disheartening to me. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It wasn't like somebody donated their paintings to us. We said, that's it, we quit. But it was more like it made me question what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's also a number of people that kind of went through that art dream. Like, maybe I'll be an artist. And they went out and bought a bunch of canvases. I think I kind of blame Mr. Brainwash for this. But then they kind of moved on to a different dream. And so the same summer that people were giving me these art collections that they purchased through Rumble House, I was also getting the guy down the block came and gave me 10 giant canvases. And that would have been great a year before, but also it got to the point where it was very difficult for us to sell the big canvases because everybody was out of space.
Mm.
So the space to live is a big issue for artists because people need to have the space to hang their work. And when the art buyers are making their spaces smaller and more empty for sheer survival sake, you get in this position where, not only do you have a hard time selling your work to these people, but also you have a hard time justifying selling your work. Do the people I love that are buying my work really deserve to be, moving into smaller homes over me, Not specifically over me, but maybe not because of me either. So yeah, it was pretty sweet when people started giving me their entire canvas collections, but it also made me really question what we're doing.
Yeah, remember we were talking about with Rumble House, we go for as long as it's necessary, and then we have to be able to know when to make a shift, and that was an indicator.
Well, that was that panic attack I had on the couch too. Like, what have I done with my life? Like, now I'm this guy who's like broadcasting to 0 people on Wednesday night. But it's actually less. No, before we started broadcasting, I was like, we talked really bravely about like, what if nobody watches? Felix said very well, no, it doesn't matter if people watch. That's not the point. But then when I like started thinking about it, like, oh, what if people can see that nobody's watching? That's when it really hit me. Like, what if they're like sitting at home snickering, like, "Hey, sucker, told you shouldn't have shut down the Rumble House."
I really love how like some people would say like just the thank you for keeping it going for as long as you did. Like that was because I think it's hard. Like it's hard to close. It's hard to keep going. Everything's hard. Yeah. And it takes a lot of bravery to say, like this is the run for this idea. Like that idea had kept us rolling for 12 years. Yeah. And then now we get new ideas. And I like the idea of growing and evolving. Right.
Well, we certainly didn't take the safe route.
No. You said you have to be uncomfortable all the time.
Most of the time.
With little bouts of comfort.
Oh my God, when I dislocated my arm and it was out of the socket.
Were you uncomfortable?
So uncomfortable. And then I remember they popped it back into the socket. You'd think there'd be like a nice, but there wasn't. It was just like, my arm was out like this. He's like, "Can you turn it on this way?" Like, no, it's dislocated. He's like, "Can you just turn it this way?" So they wanted me to like keep my arm straight and push. It was out of socket. And can I just see your arm? One guy. Can I see your arm?
Yeah.
Get on the screen here. One guy's like going like this, and then the other girl's going like this, and they're just like you're
back and forth.
Yeah, and I thought like this can't be good for me, but it apparently was. And then all of a sudden this unbelievable pain just stopped. It was like turning the volume off. It's like, boom, and I was like, wait, where's all my pain? And then I was like, oh my God, and I just like started like talking weird, like I can't tell you how happy I am that pain went away. Like, yeah, it's the kind of thing that sort of feels like it deserves a hug, but it's like they don't want you to hug them. So, but it really felt like this emotional, overwhelming, gratitude for when the arm went back in socket. Like, I love you guys.
Oh, also that we hold things in our hinges.
Yeah.
So when things are released, that actually does release emotions too.
Yeah. I was having a weird moment when my arm went back in. Kind of fell in love with my doctor. I think he sensed it too. He's like, "No, I'm good." Tried to give him a gift card. Like, we're teachers. We always get gift cards. Can I give you a gift card? He's like, "No, I'll get paid." I give a gift card to the nurse. Or unless any of Jesse's students are online, I didn't give away a gift card.
So next week I hope to have most of this done. I found out I have 1,000 bears.
Found out what? Sorry?
I have 1,000 bears here.
You have 1,000 bears?
Yeah.
It's a lot of bears, Kelly.
Too many bears. They're all over the place.
What if they all turn on you?
Oh, they don't have their eyes yet. Once they have their eyes, they will.
That's a good answer.
There's a couple of puppets here too. They're waiting and I don't know. They're just waiting for me, I guess. But I hope to kind of be working on that next year, so that's my goal. Hopefully. And I have some other stuff that is new I want to work on. Masks. The list is long.
It's good to have lots of stuff you want to work on.
Well, it's over 300 items. 300 things to do.
That's good.
Yeah. I still like that the adventure with when you guys met the alien that had the ship problem.
Yeah, we're gonna show
Oh, yeah, that
one
one.
of those a week.
That's with Galen, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did really good.
How many of the Lost in Roux have you seen? Lost in Roux.
Only that one actually. I saw the original one too, I think, but I
Well,
didn't get.
it's kind of my plan is that if we show them weekly, and then as we show them, we'll start loading them onto YouTube as well. So basically, I put them up as I made them. So none of them are really surprises anymore. But like really, they're just there so we can keep an eye on the battery on the camera. When it's time to change the camera over, we can.
So do we have other ones today?
So how many cameras are running now? 3?
I got one. Oh, okay, so there's one showing outside my building.
Yep.
If you're where I am, it's right there. Is that where you are? And then there's us face on, and then there's you. And the only reason I have my building outside is because the way I set it up, I needed to keep that mic on. So we got to kind of rearrange things a bit in the house. We managed to get out of the gallery, but our home needs some work. So currently, my main stable computer is just a little bit outside the reach of the video cameras. I got to rethink that a bit.
Yeah, this is.
Looks good though.
Yeah, well, gives you some context.
I only have 2 cameras. Well, I have 3. One on the laptop, which is the little one. I've got one pointing down right now. It's
Oh,
actually.
are you asking how many cameras we have, or how many cameras we have on? Because that's a different.
No, I was just asking how many cameras you had in general, like for streaming.
Billions.
Kelly, if I need a camera, I have 2.
Okay.
If I need 2 cameras, I have 4. And if there's a dongle that comes with the camera, I have 1 dongle for every camera, and 2 extras. If I need something for a production, I have 2 to 2.5 more of those things than I need. And then that's why you see me going mental when things go wrong, because I plan for every contingency, and still things go wrong. So I might have like 2 extra cameras waiting, and they both go down, and that's when you see me like, yeah. Because I always plan for those mistakes.
Well, at least you don't have to move the cameras anymore.
Well, we still have to live here, so to some extent we need to, but not as much as we used to, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I have the one overhead, what is the one where my hand is.
Yeah.
This one. And then there's another one on the other side. It's pointed at the resin table.
Yeah.
Which I just had to redo because the bottom fell out. I don't know why. So I just replaced it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm not in the camera. It's up here.
There. That looks good.
We should put some headphones on that guy.
And then I'm also making a sword out of resin.
Wow.
Cool.
So it's not quite done. It's wrapped together. I have to pour another thing of resin to make it one piece. So, and then I also I'm diving into airbrushing.
Very nice.
Do you have a
I bought one, a beginner's set.
air compressor?
What?
Do you have an air compressor?
I bought a little one in the on sale from Kensington Art Supply.
Oh, today.
No, on Boxing Day.
Oh.
Or the 27th, sorry.
Yeah.
I wanted to try it to see if I can airbrush theirs. But I haven't tried it yet, so I have to make room for it.
Are you going to use a respirator?
Most likely, yes. I don't want to inhale any of that.
It is funny how when you're a kid, you don't really believe in stuff like that, and then all the number of times that I used to blow my nose and have blue burgers. We used to joke about blue burgers after the airbrushing day. Whoever got in the airbrushing tanks, yeah, your boogers will be blue from.
From inhaling stuff, yeah. Like when I do the mica powder,
I bet that is great for you.
Yeah, no.
mica powder is even worse. You actually have a HEPA filter here, and I have to wear a hoodie, safety goggles, respirator, gloves, cover up my pants because that stuff floats all over. It's actually on my laptop right now. It's very tiny particles. You don't want to breathe it in. So I only paint the mica on certain days.
I used to, there's a guy that used to hang out at the coffee shop that I went to a lot, and he would talk about how he got paid so much because the paints he used gave you brain damage. And then we would go, oh, every time he said that. I was like, I don't think you should go, oh, every time you joke about getting brain damage from the paints you do, because the narrative that I'm receiving is you should stop using those paints.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear you're taking it seriously, and I appreciate that.
Yep. Oh, I was going to ask, you were going to do something with pennies back then. Did you ever do that?
What was the question?
Melting pennies.
I did not melt pennies.
Galen did build a forge though.
I did some research on melting pennies, and it was terrifying.
So I took some pennies and I actually put them in resin, and I made a penny platter.
Right.
Just for some.
What happened when I used the pennies? I didn't use the pennies. I just I did some research to see what would happen.
What happened?
It's terrifying.
Hmm.
So it turns out old pennies are fine. New pennies have like zinc in them, and
Which has a lower
yeah.
melting.
And so what happens is when you heat it up to a certain temperature, the zinc just like squirts out.
Oh yeah.
And then at that
Shoots
crazy
it.
temperature, it hits the table, and because of like it's like anti-gravity or something, it just randomly it hits the table, and then it fires into the room somewhere, like completely uncontrolled, no direction. And
Boing, boing, boing,
imagine this like getting hit in the nuts with like molten zinc. I didn't see that coming.
Dangerous, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when I accidentally missed the table and I actually got resin on the floor. I tried everything to get it out of the floor. It was foam. It's a foam floor, but still, it was sticky. So I actually had to replace the floor. So
Is
now
that
I'm
your floor?
what?
Is that your art floor?
Yeah, my art floor is foam.
Why would you? Oh, you replaced the foam.
It's better to walk on for it's anti-fatigue stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I used to have. You're in the basement. I used to have a in my parents' house. I had my drawing desk was set up in the basement, and in the winter, I would go to bed. My foot would be numb, and I realized because I was sitting at a desk, and in my desk I had it was like a stool, and the stool had like a foot stand, so I would have one foot on the foot stand, and the other foot was on the one foot was on the foot stand, the other foot was on the concrete floor. So the reason I was going to bed with a numb foot was because I was giving 1 foot frostbite on my concrete basement floor every night. Every day I spent the whole day with my foot touching the floor. And this is actually kind of like a story about how my mom used to not be very delicate sometimes. As I remember looking at my foot going, oh, Mom, like, look at my foot. It looks weird. And she's like, oh, it looks like you have frostbite. I'm like, what do they do for frostbite? I'm like, oh, they'll cut your foot off. I'm like, should we do something to fix it? She's like, no, it's too late. You have frostbite. And she's just like, go to bed.
Go to bed.
Go to bed with your frostbite. They're gonna cut it off. They'll cut it off in the morning. It's gonna turn black and it falls off. And I was like, but like, that wasn't what I wanted to hear. But I think she had the theory that it would stop me from doing it again. But I wasn't misbehaving. I was just
Drawing.
I didn't know. I didn't know that drawing on a concrete floor was going to cost me a foot.
Which it didn't.
No, it turned out my foot recovered. But that is the toe that freezes in the snow. Once you get frostbite, then that foot's the one that goes. It's the go-to freezing foot for the rest of your life.
And most of the drawings are in my mom's house on the wall.
What, sorry?
Most of my drawings when I was a kid are on the wall, so they're on the concrete.
Yeah. Is your mom still living in that house?
Yes.
Okay.
She actually painted on the wall, I think, originally,
Yeah.
and then I painted over it.
Jesse.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Super cute.
And now I've got an eye that I can use for something else. Arr!
What was that pirate joke?
Hmm?
Oh yeah.
I forgot today that nothing was open except for Canadian Tire.
Staples was open.
Oh, I had to go to Canadian Tire. I had low oil.
Yeah.
So they filled it. I just had to buy the oil and they put it in, and that was nice of them.
Which Canadian Tire do you like?
McLeod Trail.
I'm going to tell you a story about that store.
Question is, will you still like it? After Dad's story.
Well, I remember I almost got in a fight with the guy that worked there because they took my. I brought it in to get the radiator repaired, and apparently they had to take the latch that held the hood down off to do the repair. And I knew this because my the latch was detached and going up Blackfoot Trail. My hood flipped up against the windscreen, smashed my windshield. I also was driving in the dark for like a minute or two while I was trying to piece together like what happened. It was just like there was no problem, just going up Blackfoot, and then all of a sudden everything outside my window disappeared. Of course, I have a vivid imagination. I think you've heard this before. I was like, what? End of the universe? Why today? And so I slowed down, didn't die. But then I went in, I could see the latch where I used to have a hook that held the hood down was detached, and the 4 screws that it had been attached to were just sitting there. They hadn't even bounced out of the engine yet.
Dad?
Is this not a good story?
I have a question for you.
Can I wait a second?
That's a good story.
Yeah, no, and then so I went in and the guy straight up lied. He's like, no, that wasn't us. I'm like, yeah, bud, no. He goes, that was, like, wasn't me. It's like, no, I'm telling you it was you. Like, I had a hood attachment. I brought it in, and now it's detached, and it's detached right next to where you were working. And it's not like I was driving around with no hood for, 10 years. And then it's just a coincidence that you happen to be working on it in that area. And he was just like not willing to take responsibility for the mistake. And I probably would have been fine if he just said sorry, But he's like, that wasn't me. That wasn't my shop. And he was just so adamant about how it couldn't have been them. And I was like, there's like 0% chance it was anybody else. And we were like screaming at each other, and he picked up a tool, threatened me, and I wasn't backing down, and it was a bad moment. So I don't even go in there for pool noodles anymore.
They changed management, so I think it's better. But I'd probably go to Shaughnessy too. The Shaughnessy one was closer, but at the time,
I totally get that. There was a guy at Good Earth that was really super rude to me over like coffee, probably 20 years ago. I'm sure that guy's grown up and became a lawyer by now, and but I still hold a grudge against Good Earth Coffee because it's one bad experience I had 20 years ago.
Remember where there used to be a Good Earth by Rumble House?
No, because I hate Good Earth.
Well, I remember because you said they hate Good Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, I could not get over it. Well, because I worked in a cafe for 8 years. And if somebody came in ordered a coffee and realized they didn't have enough money, I would just go into my tips and pay for their coffee. And I knew the next time they came in, they would end up tipping me like $50 or something. So I had no problem helping people out that way. And I went into Good Earth and I worked in a cafe and I ordered a coffee and a muffin. This is a long time ago. So I think I had like $18 in my pocket or something. And like somehow, and I don't even know how, the two things I ordered came to like an entire bill more than I expected. Like I needed another $10. And I just hadn't anticipated it being that overpriced. Oh, I know what it was. Because in our coffee shop, if you ordered double espresso, it was the same price as a single espresso. And the reason for that made a lot of sense. Do you know what it was?
What?
Well, the milk was more expensive than the coffee.
Oh.
So if you ordered a double espresso, you're actually spending less money for the store than if a single espresso was more expensive for the store to make than a double espresso. So they would sell a double espresso at the same price as a single. And I'd made the mistake of going into that Good Earth and not thinking that the double would be more expensive than a single. And so I sort of priced it out so that I had enough for a tip. And when he put it through the till, it was more expensive than the money I had. And I was like, oh, can I not get the muffin? I think I ordered a muffin. A muffin and a coffee. And the thing I really needed, I said, well, can I not get this? And he either started something or opened something, or there's some reason why I couldn't.
Not.
It had gone too far, right? Before he ran it through the till, he'd already started serving me. And I didn't have enough money, which was super embarrassing. And then he just like had a tantrum. I think he threw my food in the garbage or something. And I was like,
That's embarrassing.
yeah, it was unnecessarily hostile.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
Because you don't go out in life wanting to do that.
no, it was really embarrassing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And because I worked in a cafe and I knew that sort of thing happened to people,
Mm-hmm.
I think I was extra wounded that there was no grace.
Afforded, yes.
Now, guaranteed, there's somebody online at some point that's going to watch this and go, I hate people like that. But there was a combination of things. One, I was not used to the exaggerated prices. Two, I think I even offered like to go home and get money or something, like if it was that big of a deal. And he just threw the food in the garbage. It's like probably too hungry to walk here and back. Like that you've thrown that out.
I tell you that this embroidery is so satisfying. I'm just going in like spirals into the record, like the grooves of a record.
Can I see? Oh, that isn't.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah.
And like for my brain, just going around in circles is so.
How do you feel about this Isle of Roux?
I find it very comforting. I like the idea of being able to talk, and like a large part of Rumble House was storytelling.
Right.
And
Well, it's interesting that we're sort of getting a bit of a lull where people are dropping off right now, but it's also 8:49. So at this point, our 7 o'clock crowd will drop out, and then we drop the feed.
oh yeah,
And then I'm just curious if anybody shows up at 9.
yeah. So we'll kind of keep it going.
Do you want to try like asking people to share, or no? Is that weird?
I forgot to share the link with Theo and
Guess what?
what?
We don't have to share anymore because there's no more rent to pay.
Oh, but we could all share to make more viewers.
You can share, but like it's not life or death. It used to be life or death.
Yeah, but sharing is good. But I'm saying I didn't share the link to Theo, which I forgot.
Deal?
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theo and Zach.
this one's
I'll do it next time.
Or will you?
Oh yeah.
I did.
So is 9 o'clock an auction?
No more auction.
So what goes on at 9? That's it? Nothing?
We don't know.
So currently,
We were gonna go offline at 9 o'clock. We're gonna
Okay.
7 till 9, but then we slowly realized that it's possible that some of our viewers might be used to us coming on at 9. So we're gonna sort of like feel it out and see who shows up at 9. And then
Okay.
also the different thing, Kelly, is it doesn't matter if it's live anymore, right? So like we're gonna send this link to the people that run that record store, and
they have 3 pieces of artwork.
yeah, maybe they watch it at some point in the future, or maybe they just think we're nuts and ignore us. I don't know.
I don't know.
Is there anything else we can say about that store? Did you talk about the record happenings that they do?
Yeah. I talked about like they have local like performances.
And I actually remember going into Blackbird one time and they were having like a happening, and I just wanted to buy some records, which is funny because it's a bit of a risk as a record store that you decide to like do this event where you have like music playing, right? And then like you might even lose buyers because people walk in and they're suddenly feeling like, I don't know what's happening here. So I know I didn't leave, but I thought about it when I went into the record store and there's like somebody was making music and I'm like, am I in the way here? And I just wanted to like pull out some records and go. But what did we do? We stuck it out and bought some records because we don't get out much. But it's interesting that when you do stuff like that, sometimes it can
But that's
be
the
daunting for people to wander in and take part.
yeah, and that's the fearless part though, is like you take risks like that and then you end up with the people who are curious and undaunted.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. I'm moving very slowly.
Go slow. Sorry.
I most likely will go offline. I'll be watching though from upstairs.
Okay.
It was nice chatting with you, Kelly.
Yeah, I'll see you next time, but I will be on watching upstairs. I have paperwork to do.
Nice.
See
See ya.
See you later, Felix.
I think he's in the bathroom.
Oh, probably. Okay, see you guys.
Bye. How do you like this Isle of Roux?
I like that it's like low stress. I like that we're together. I don't know what it looks like yet. Like,
Right.
by that I don't mean like watching it, but like I can't really see it in my head.
Mm-hmm. I think having 2 videos each episode was really good.
2 videos.
2 video interludes, maybe 3 if they're shorter videos.
Yeah. Well,
Because we were talking originally about having every half an hour a new video interlude, but I think we had really good conversation. I think
how many
3
interludes did we have?
3 written down like in our plans.
Oh.
So I like every half hour, 7:30, 8, and 8:30. But I think that was always ish anyways. But
Yeah,
I think
you take those things way more seriously than
I think I'm just talking it out though
You
too.
can
Like
talk it out.
I think having 2 videos each time, like a puppet and a space one, or because we have lots of lovely puppet videos to share too.
Mm-hmm. I did worry that we promised so much. Like it's going to be vaudevillian. It's going to be like the Flying Windows and.
But I also knew we had to make art, so
Yeah.
And I think that we'll kind of build up that like communication and the connection part too, so people feel free
Maybe
to-
that was part of the anxiety I had right before we started. Is like, did I give people the wrong idea about what we're doing? Like, because I get excited about things and I kind of talk in terms of like best case scenario. And there'll be airplanes and
Felix. Are you all done? Do you want to put away your tools if you're all done using them with you? Or what's your plan? I don't know.
How does it feel? How do you feel about the Isle of Roux?
I like it.
Do we have more questions prepared?
Oh yeah, there's lots like, but this one's kind of interesting because it's like we're asking the audience if you could create a piece of art for someone who really deserves it, who would it be, and what story would it tell?
That is something I really need people to send in
Yeah, that would be
because we
cool.
really wanted people to share in the
Comments.
content
Yeah,
about like where this stuff is going to go, right? Trade for good deeds and that kind of thing.
right. And like we always met people through Rumble House, like people doing good stuff, and so this is kind of like that question kind of goes to
Yeah, if we don't find
Who
people
else?
to contribute, then that's the only thing we really need. We don't need an audience for the sake of like applause, or do we?
I was gonna say, do you want to show you?
Let's get some audience reaction on that one.
Please.
It's funny. I'm drawing like where the records are leaning,
Yeah.
and I got anxiety when they're leaning one way instead of the other. Like that's not good for the records.
Guys, I'm gonna go check something.
Okay. Felix, if you need a break, you can take a break. If you're playing video games, I'll just close the door. What time are you staying up till? Felix? What time are you staying up till? What time are you staying up till?
What did you say?
Potato chips.
Okay. That makes perfect sense.
What time are you staying up till?
Like 11?
Okay, well, if you want a bath, think about when you're having a bath. Also, don't come online if you're getting out of the bath. That is one of my great fears about broadcasting out of our home. Like, you remember how sometimes we keep the live feed on? Jesse, what are you wearing? There's 12,000 viewers.
We'll just really, we think about different things when we're in a different space. Yeah, we're going to be highlighting some of Lauren Sheepa's upcoming work that she's publishing, right? Is that?
Yeah.
There's lots of different things that we have in store. So there's.
We are a little behind this month because of my broken wing.
Well, broken wing, but also this was the first day where we didn't have to do anything. Like we were, you know what I mean, moving, and this was the first day.
Yeah, but we knew we were moving for a year, so like, I totally get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
However, I started pacing myself for the last day in the gallery starting in June, and what I hadn't anticipated was dislocating my shoulder.
It's really beautiful. So what do you think would be fun to spin the wheel at the beginning of the
Yeah,
nights?
let's get your thing finished.
Or at the
And
end.
then, yeah.
Okay. Beginning. Because I could even hang it behind us. Oh no, the wheel.
Oh no, the wheel. We'll spin that like slightly in advance.
Oh, we can spin it and make a video of it.
Yeah, but not too far in advance that we can really like prepare too much, but like enough in advance that it's not in the way while we're broadcasting.
Right.
That's all.
Because it is quite large when you put out the letters.
Are there any album covers that are fronted? Can you front me an album covers? Like a good one? Ooh, like Richie Haven. What is it? No. I want Richie Haven.
Okay, give me a second.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go past 9, is it past 9? Yeah. Oh.
No.
Did you and I buy this?
I think so.
I wonder if I had Richie Haven do that. If we're gonna go past 9, should we shut the feed down and start it again, or no?
No, we
How
just.
about just click share?
You want me to picture?
Nah, it's okay. I never want to do that again.
I don't think we need to.
I'm just not sure how people will know that we're doing this.
It'll like if they go to look for it, it'll be there. Like if they're used to looking for it at 9,
What are you doing right now?
just coming back to do
Are you
it
fresh my water?
for drinking.
No, actually both, yeah. I always tell the kids when I'm setting them up to do paint at school, like regardless of what they're using. If they're using water, I really talk to them about how like the bigger the jar of water you have to refresh your brush, the less diluted with color it gets. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. After you talk about your cold toe story, my toes are cold.
I'm probably gonna lose them.
Don't joke. Just stop it.
Guess what?
What?
This girl has 3 piercing in her ears, but she can't fit her earrings into her ears. 'Cause
Oh.
they're closed over.
That is such a pain.
And her partner bought her 6 gold earrings, sleepers really, so that she could keep her holes open. So we got 4. Scandalous, huh?
Scandalous. That is so fun.
What is?
Just like how many people came and left notes. And
Oh, are there notes? Right.
Like the
Okay. I'm back
comments.
to realizing that's going to be like the thing where I'm sort of feeling a little unfulfilled because I'm not getting the feedback. I'm not seeing who's with us. Back to that dot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our
that's-
connection with the world is that dot on the camera.
Right.
Like over COVID.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's right. What is happening?
I don't know. That's super distracting.
The blob.
Don't do it. Don't. No.
I'm not trying to be in your bubble.
You are my bubble baby. What's happening here? Kelly says, "Hi, Rich. I have the rest of the week off. Who is this? Oh, yeah. I would love to drop and pick up the left-handed piece anytime. There is no more Rumble House, so we'll have to send you. We'll meet downtown. Yeah,
Well, we're just down the street, so yeah.
We're in the Continental Towers, so we can meet you at any point if you want to come downtown. Okay. Here's my Richie Havens album.
Richard P. Havens.
Wait, is there a P?
Yeah.
I never saw that before. This is a funky album to try and like. Are we listening to Richard Havens tonight?
Sure.
I love the red on this album cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like ultraviolet.
I did a good job of like not rushing these records, the record spines.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would be so easy to like just want to rush them.
Yeah.
And I said that just as I started to rush.
Don't
them.
rush. We have lots of time.
Where's Leanne and
Keith,
coming back from?
I think they're in Florida. I saw
Did she
them-
say they're on the airport coming home?
Yeah. Well, that's what you said. I couldn't read it from where I.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so nice. They had such beautiful pictures. They were on the East Coast there. Epcot Center.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do there? Watch rockets?
Oh no, I think that's what's that? That's where.
Is it sports?
No, that's at Disney World, Epcot Center. I think it's like kind of like a design studio.
Mm.
Kind of. I was there when I was 5, so I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll fight later.
I love the atmospheric feeling of this painting.
You like it?
Mhm.
Oh, good. I was feeling like a little left-winged actually. Like I sort of felt like, oh, this isn't my best work. But then I thought, you know what though? First of all, they don't know how I hurt arm. They also don't know like how good I am at my best. So like, if you're not really expecting a painting, this could be like some like, you know what I mean? Like just a really eager person that you want to make them happy.
I think this is a beautiful package we'll be sending them. Look at that little guy that Felix made, and a little record embroidery, and then this. I think that's a beautiful package.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
I like it way better when you don't do that towards my face.
With the needle.
Yeah,
I apologize.
you don't have to. Of course, if you like stuck it in my face, there'd be like never-ending apologies.
Mm-hmm.
That would be annoying. Like that was avoidable.
That would be annoying.
No, for real.
This is
I think
definitely
I saw something on the corner that happened on the screen.
a long play record. Low battery. What?
Where? Oh, plug that in. Just double check the cables.
Well, this is funny.
To get stepped on.
Look, where is it? There's nothing to plug it into.
It's here. It's here.
Oh yeah.
Ah, tragedy averted. This is super interesting at this point because I've kind of overcaked the skin here,
Oh,
and as it dries, it's changing colors. So I'm like, I am sort of like moving out of like watercolors into oil painting really quickly.
well, yeah, it kind of makes sense actually, because if you're doing gouache as well,
Yeah, no, it's
Then
just
it's like-
100% that I got overindulgent with the I got lazy. You know what I mean? Like I could have been like, this is really critical. I have to get this right the first time, which is a lot of stuff in my paintings. Like, but this time I was like, oh, I got lots of time with that. I'll take it with the face and come back to it.
you know what? I'm back here.
I don't remember being
Our
scared of that.
camera went off.
Uh, watch this quick change. Just happen to have another camera ready. Okay, well, there goes my quick change.
Do you help with your hand?
No, I'm okay. I don't know why it's struggling. There we go. Unscrew it. I didn't unscrew enough. Usually I'm unscrewing too much. Is that on?
Yeah. No, not yet. Oh yeah, no, the thing was on. Sorry. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm so sorry it was on. I apologize.
I forgive you. Is it on now?
No. Hello. Happy New Year.
Who is it?
Dimitri.
What's happening there? Something happened. I got a cable. That's not it. What else is it? Oh, it's the record.
No, it's good.
I was like, something's obscuring the
Oh.
view.
Oh, this is a nice one. Question says, Richie Havens carried a message of freedom and resilience in his music. Which artist or song carries that meaning for you?
Resilience.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney's.
Oh, yes.
What's the name of that song?
in
Look through
those days.
yeah. They can't take it from me. They try. 'Cause I lived through those
Early days.
Early days.
So many times I had to change my pain to laughter just to keep from going crazy. You can't take it from me if they try. I feel those old days. So many times I had to change the pain to laughter just to keep from getting crazy. It is such a gift, you know, Rich, like just to sit and watch you paint is a beautiful gift. So like I feel like that even in itself is a nice thing to share with people.
It's interesting. Because what is it about you and I where I don't really get to see you painting?
I could start painting a little bit more now that we're here.
No, I mean like the art making, is it just the angle? How come I'm never poised to see your
Oh,
like here's another
I
thing,
think
right?
we interact differently. I think you're always telling stories and you're painting and you're really
You're like,
kind of like
I like to watch you sleep.
you're a storm and you're like, you know what I mean though? Like
Yeah.
you affect people, and then I do watch. I like watching. I still, yeah. What were we gonna say? I'm sorry.
It's like you're the fly on the wall and I'm a giant lump of puke.
No.
I don't mean that in a bad way, I'm just saying like
You're like a wild beast.
puke.
No. You don't lump. You're not a lump. You don't sit there. You're like the wind.
Mm.
And I think we focus on different things when we're art making.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you go to a different place when you?
Well, that's a really interesting thing that you just asked, and I'll tell you why. Is a lot of people were asking me over and over again how I felt and was I sad and what would I miss about Rumble House, and I realized I don't really have very many memories from Rumble House, which is weird because I remember everything, right? Like I ran into that guy on the street that I wrestled with in high school, and he was trying to help somebody move their car.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, that guy looks like he needs help," but it wasn't even his car. He was trying to help somebody else, right? So that might be a quality of people that decide to do stupid things like wrestle. Like, oh, I can push a car. So here he is pushing a car out for somebody, and I come along thinking, "Oh, that guy looks like he needs help," and he did. He needed help pushing somebody else's car. But as I was pushing the car, I was like, "Yeah, I think I know you." And because we went to high school together. No, we didn't go to high school together. We wrestled in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, I think he ended up in
Art school.
art school. And so I kind of knew a little bit about who he was. But he just kept like rolling his eyes, and there's this look people give me when they don't really remember stuff, like, "Wow, you must really be like interested in me to remember so much." And it's like, no, I remember everything, but I don't really remember the rumbles. And I would talk about that quite a bit in terms of like editing the Gorilla House movies. But when I sort of thought back over the last 12 years of the rumbles, I kind of remember everything in my life but the rumbles. They're kind of like a blank spot for like what was my Wednesday nights were like very busy, right? Taking care of problems and I have flashes, like I remember sitting on the front step with that guy that wanted to kill
That guy.
yeah, that other guy, and missing the auction and little things like that. But I mostly
Yeah, the uncomfortable parts. We remember the difference, not the sameness.
So where's it going with that?
I asked you if you go someplace when you're making art.
Right. So like my mind is so busy doing the art making that I feel like I miss out on some of the like the personal stuff. This is better. This is a better like I'm feeling like less sucked into this than when we're doing Rumble.
Interesting. Keep on getting crazy. I feel those every day. I like the idea of like art and healing too. We're talking about like records of mental health. So like we're talking about giving up drinking and keeping the music and the photos as our like positive dopamine in our lives and having that space to like collect something that stays with you and amplifies your life rather than erases it.
Yeah.
And that idea of like these positive dopamine kicks, like if it's not records, then something like positive in your life. But I like the idea of records is really important because it has to do with time. And photos are really important because that has to do with time too. And the idea of mental health.
Yeah, like even just in terms of like recording and keeping records and like just the words, right? Like the idea that you're archiving.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe like when people are using Spotify, they're losing that connection to the archival.
Yeah.
So maybe they're gonna take that maybe back. It's like 100%.
There's a line in the Anna DeFranco song that was like, people used to make records as in a record at an event of people making music in a room.
Yeah.
I think that's what like you did with Rumble House too. I think that's what we did. Because when people bought a piece from Rumble House, they bought that moment too.
Right. And that goes back to like the relationship you have to build, or else people don't really want their work.
Yeah.
You work in their house,
Mhm.
you know, if you're not civil.
Making a positive connection.
Yeah.
Like, well, close. I've never used a whole scheme. Maybe I have. It's like so worth it. It's like very satisfying.
All right.
It's really beautiful.
I have a scanner. I can keep a record of it. All right, we're at 9:30,
Oh, perfect.
and there's 6 people with us. Are the 6 people that are with us, are the same 6 people that were with us before? How can I get some feedback from you?
We are learning. We would love to hear from you.
Okay. That's how high I can move my arm right now.
Please don't push it.
I did just now. I extended beyond my
Safe.
safe zone. Really, we should deliver this in person.
I was just thinking that.
Want to go? I bet you nobody's flying to Vancouver this week,
Oh, not this week.
right? Week after New Year's? Let's go. But tomorrow. Okay. Can you pass me those paintings? The left-hand painting has a home.
Yeah, left-handed
This
painting
one's going to
has-
highlight. Okay, 6 people that are with us. No pressure.
Rich.
Yeah, that's fine.
Please tell me to do stuff for you.
Really? Okay, this is the painting I did for High Life, a record store on Commercial Drive in Vancouver. That was just that. I told that story wrong because I think I probably at no point put my record player away, but I think I was maybe going through a phase where I started thinking like, will I switch over to digital? So this is going to go to High Life, but this, my friends, this is my painting of the Muppets. I did this, and this right before I ripped my arm off, and then I did these 2 with my left hand because up until today I couldn't use my hand at all. I'm using it a little bit today. But if you would like this painting, I'm losing viewers. You can either comment in the comment section or come online with us and tell us a story. But I'm going to end up with too many paintings if people don't take these away from me. This one is called a wave mutilation. And if you look closely, the wave is made up of all kinds of peoples, and then the waves are also made up of all kinds of little skeletons. And maybe I'll keep working on this, but this was a left-handed painting too, so I was super like when you're right-handed and you're using the left hand to make the paintings, there's a weird sense of arthritis, you know, like it just feels super arthritic. This is a Krampus, and Krampus needs a home. Maybe I'll put Krampus away till next year. But if you have a story about a record and you want to join us or write it out online, I'll stick around for a few seconds to see if you come through for us. But we want to trade those paintings for some narratives. I often wonder when I see like 6 viewers if it's like somebody turned their computer on and then they went to go run on the treadmill and forgot about us. And if they're actually there, then when I comment about them, they often disappear. Like, oh, you can see this. Would that girl be cooler if she had glasses on?
No, I like it. Like, I like glasses, but. Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Don't overwork the painting. Don't overwork.
I know, that's why I'm like it.
Don't overwork the painting. Don't work.
Because that face looks so beautiful right now.
Okay.
How's your heart?
It's good.
Good, I'm fine. Yeah, we'll build up that that people feel comfortable saying or speaking or. You're fine. You're wearing glasses.
You're a strange chick. Yeah, there are 7 people with us. What should I do? Another paint? Move that aside.
Did you want to keep working on the wave of your directions? We can call it for the night if you want. Oh, do you want to put the ghost draw on?
No. We'll try it, Messy Jessie. This is from our Christmas movie in the year
18?
2014.
No, 18.
Way before COVID.
It was 18.
I think you're wrong. But anyways,
I'm going to Google it.
yeah, we made a Christmas movie. This is a little excerpt from the Christmas movie. We brought a ton of people in, put an open call for stunts. One of my former students showed up and he almost cracked his head on a concrete step. Thank God he didn't. But we don't show the Christmas movie anymore. So we could, maybe next year. But this is an excerpt from the Christmas movie I thought we'd share with you just because it's pretty fun.
And it goes with the music.
How you doing, Richie?
I'm good.
Yeah?
How you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you been doing?
Lots of stuff at the gallery.
Where
We
is
had an opening last night.
With Rich?
Yeah, with Rich.
What else?
I don't know. Just working on report cards with Rich.
With Rich?
Yeah. And we did the dishes together this morning. It was so cute.
You like him?
I love him.
Are you still together?
Yes.
Do you think you will be together for a long time?
I'm kind of hoping, like,
But what would happen if something bad were to happen to Rich?
I don't know. I have to get going, okay? Richie,
Don't go! Come back!
Okay. Bye, Richie.
Bye!
So Bella is the musician.
Olha que coisa mais linda e cheia de graça. Ela, menina que vem e que passa, o doce balanço, o caminho do mar. Moça do corpo dourado de som de Ipanema, seu balançado é mais so sadly. How can he tell her he loves her? Yes, he would give his heart gladly, but each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at he. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, he smiles, but she doesn't see.
I love you.
Cutting that out.
I don't even know how to end.
The outro begin.
Usually you say.
Can I make one for next week?
Yeah, next week.
We love you. Oh, I'm